Welcome back. Steve Adubato, more importantly, talk about a media icon. He's John Catsimatidis, chairman and CEO, Red Apple Group, Red Apple Media. They have, as part of their universe, WABC 77, WABC, and a whole range of other media outlets. John, good to see you.
Always good to see you. How are you been?
Doing all right during these challenging times. Listen, we're taping on the 22nd of October. It'll be seen after the election. We just had a presidential historian on. We said, we don't know how the election is going to go, but we had him talk about President Trump's leadership. And let's just say it wasn't kind or positive. You respect President Trump. What leadership traits do you like about him? And how do you believe, whether he wins or loses, will be seen by history?
Well, first of all, I know President Trump for 35 years. And I have not, and we know each other pretty well, but I've never taken him to dinner before he was president. And he's never taken me to dinner. So, it's just, and I say maybe it's two different personalities. But I'll tell you that President Trump, if we judge him on personality, he loses. If we judge him on performance and protecting the United States of America, he's a winner. I mean, I would love to be in a trench hole with him or in a foxhole. Because the Chinese don't want him to win. The Russians don't want him to win. The Iranians don't want him to win. Why? Because he stood up against them. And he's gotten a North America trade agreement done with Mexico and Canada. We're all in the same boat in North America. Why did the Russians and the Saudi Arabians shake hands and move oil from $60 down to $20 to break all the fracking companies? People want to know the truth. My job, and the reason I went into media, is I want to be Walter Cronkite. 92% of the people in America believed Walter Cronkite. Right now, that number is almost zero.
No, John, you're right. The media is fragmented. We're the enemy of the people in the eyes of some. Too many of us have a point of view as opposed to trying to get at the truth. By the way, check out John's program every Sunday morning, Sunday at 8:30 to 10, the Cats Roundtable. That is on AM 970, correct?
It's on WABC AM 970 and on WABC radio and about 10 or 15 other stations out in Long Island, WLIR, that we just bought. And we just want to get the truth out. That's what my interest is.
Yeah, but you know what, John, it strikes me about that, and I know the folks at AM 970 and Jerry Crowley and your team as well at AM 970, but the one thing that always struck me about you is you're civil, you're respectful, you're not a name caller, you're a policy person, you care about the issues. So here's my question. Do you believe that President Trump's presidency will help or hurt our ability to have civil discourse even when we disagree with each other, John?
You're talking an issue that has been brought up a lot, and again, it goes back to personality. But you're always a gentleman, John.
You're always a gentleman.
It comes back to personality, and in the long run, I think President Trump. I was going to call him Donald because that's what I always called him. President Trump will. History is written by the winners. You read that someplace, didn't you?
That's right.
History is written by the winners. And I am scared stiff that there's a new crop in town that want to change American history. They want to take down the statues of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Who are these people that want to take these statues down? I mean, we are meant to understand history and relate to history and learn from our mistakes, which I think Americans have done. I think Americans have learned from mistakes of slavery. I think Americans have learned from the way people treated minorities. And I think up to the COVID crisis, this was the greatest country in the world. This was our business climate was going up. American industries that had positioned themselves overseas were coming back to America. Jobs are coming back to America. Lowest unemployment for the Black community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community.
But then COVID
It's so
happened, John Cass.
important.
But then COVID happened, and how would you describe the president's leadership in dealing with COVID? How do you describe it?
I think he did it. He moved as fast as he could possibly move, because a lot of the doctors that were advising him, and I'll be very nice to everybody, because Dr. Fauci is a friend of mine. I like the guy. But I think he was deceived. He was lied to by the Chinese on the problems, deceived and lied to, and then he in turn passed on that information to the President of the United States and the intelligence bureaus. Not that Dr. Fauci wanted to deliver bad information, but that's what happened. Now, let's go back to what happened. The Chinese knew how serious this was, because in Wuhan, on a certain date, they stopped allowing airplanes to go to the rest of China, but kept them going to New York City, 3 airplanes a day into New York City and to Italy and to the rest of Europe. So they were infecting. What happened in New York City, it's a Chinese problem. And look, I love the Chinese people. I think Chinese people are smart. They're very smart, very intelligent, but I shouldn't, when I say Chinese, I do not want to say the Chinese people. I meant the Chinese government, the Chinese communist government that China is run by.
Hey, John, could you do this for us? We're going to cut this segment short, but then I'm going to ask you to sit right there, because I want to talk leadership with you, because we do a show called Lessons in Leadership, and you know more about leadership than most. Can you sit right there for a few more minutes?
I will do that.
We'll be right back right after this. But on our Lessons in Leadership program, you're going to see John Catsimatidis, who's got an incredible story, and he is a strong leader. Be right back after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Investors Bank, Hackensack Meridian Health, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, MD Advantage Insurance Company, the Russell Berry Foundation, Johnson & Johnson, ADP, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, and by NJ Best. Promotional support provided by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ, part of the USA Today network, and by NJ On Air.
I'm Tim Sullivan, CEO of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Since joining the NJEDA, I've been struck by the incredible assets and resources that New Jersey has to offer. The NJEDA is working every day to grow New Jersey's economy in a way that maximizes the values of those assets to benefit every single New Jersey resident. This includes more support for small businesses and a focus on reclaiming New Jersey's position as a leader in the innovation economy. Visit njeda.com to learn more about how NJEDA is building a stronger and fairer New Jersey economy.